All right, peace of Christ to all, and welcome with our daily show almost. And I hope that every time we do what we do, you guys, you learn something new. And the whole point is we want people to be educated and we want people to have the knowledge. Now, the Muslims always, the Muslims are different kind of people. You notice that we as a Christians, we don't accuse the Buddhas or the Hindus of fabricating lies. And we don't, I never saw really anyone is saying the Buddhas, they are fabricating stories to convince people about their belief, or, and I never saw any anyway. Today we will give you an example with many reasons not to trust Muslims unless you are a fool. Now, a few years ago, the Muslims, they made a video of a very well-known scientist, and his name is in the screen as a name for the show today. And they say that this Muslim scientist, or because they are saying that he converted to Islam. So today, not only we are going to expose their lies about this person, but we are going to expose their lies about the miracles they claim. Now, as you know, I have, me myself, I have a book. The whole book is made just to refute what the Muslims call as scientific miracles. And this book is called Quran and Science in Depth. I advise people to read it. It's full of knowledge and full of reference, and actually it's funny because what it's been called a science turned to be a very funny fairy tale stories. So I advise every one of you, if you don't have the book, to go and read it, and don't forget to post your review, an honest one, about the book, if it was really good, if it's bad, whatever it is. We don't do what the Muslims do, right? We don't say because you're a Christian you have to say a good review of my book. Muslims, they review books without buying them, you know that? But even sometime before you publish the book, the Muslims, they have a review for it. Simply, any book speak against Islam is going to have bad stars for Muslims. You will have, if they can give you -0, minus from 0, they would. Muslims and honesty is something they don't like. They don't walk together. And this is what we will do today. We are going to show you why we are saying that. Is there a real reason to say that? During hundreds of time of videos, if not thousands, we showed you how Muslims cannot be trusted in their translation for their hadith and their Quran. Now, for those who do not know, hadith simply is the stories about Muhammad by his companion or by him, which means either him himself, he said, or his companion, they said about him, something like that. And the word hadith in Arabic means speech, talk. And the Quran itself, by the way, is called hadith too. The Quran says that the Quran is the best of the hadith. However, today's topic is about Islam and science. Now, as you know, that Islam complete, it's not just the Quran. Islam without the hadith, there is no Islam. Actually, Islam without the Quran, there is Islam, but without the hadith, there is no Islam. Because all the practice of Islam is not exist in the Quran. Actually, there's many practice in the Quran Muslims don't follow, and they say it's abrogated by the hadith. But you will not find something in the hadith is abrogated by the Quran. It is the statement of Muhammad which is abrogating the statements of Allah, because simply both of them are one statement of one man. So let us see today, what is this story about the scientists who say great things about Islam? Is it true? Is it a lie? Is the scientist really saying what they say? So let us examine this. This is a video I'm going to show you on the screen. The Muslims, they made this video a few years ago, actually since 2012. So this is not a new video, but just to show you how Muslims, they fabricate stories with no shame. Another example that Islam is always right. Actually, the same video you can find it in YouTube under Stephen Hawkins, he converted to Islam. So look what they did. They fabricated a voice audio of this man, you know, because he is not using his voice anyway. It's a machine, so you can do it yourself. It's a machine voice. You don't have a voice. So let us see.
My brothers and sisters, my name is Professor Stephen Hawking. I have spent my life searching for answers to life, the universe, and everything. And now my search is finally over. I have finally read a book called the Quran, and may I tell you, brothers and sisters, Islam is the truth. As you know, I have a keen interest in black holes, and it was black holes which led me to Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. The Quran says, the place where the stars fall. How could black holes be described in such accurate detail? And for example, the miracle of the Fiqh in such accurate detail.
Hold on. So according to this video, by the way, this video is 100% fabricated, all right? Brother and sister, this guy until now is an atheist. He don't like Christianity, he don't like Islam, he don't like any religion. He is an atheist. And actually, I found a video just made a few months ago attacking him by Muslims for he is the reason for many people of denial of God. You see it? Conversation with Tariq Ramadan. I found that Tariq Ramadan, he is the grandson of Hassan al-Banna, the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood. All right, and he is supposedly a doctor. The impact of Stephen Hawking and denial of God. This is just a few months ago, in June 15, 2015. So how he converted to Islam and how he is making people leave religion anyway. You know what I mean? So it's, you do not need to be a genius to know that this guy is an atheist. He don't believe in Christianity, he don't believe in Islam, he don't believe in any religion. He is pure atheist. He never converted to any religion. He don't like religion. He don't believe in them. And he is a scientist, yes, but he don't believe in God. Now, one video saying he converted to Islam and other video saying that he is the reason for people to leave God. Which one of them is truthful? Obviously, both of them, they are liars, you know, because Stephen, yes, he's an atheist, but he cannot be a reason for people not to believe in God. He is just a person. People, they decide to leave or to believe or not based on their opinion. So I can say something to you, he says something to you. It's at the end of the day, you make a decision. So he is not the one make anyone believe or not to believe. If I believe in God because of scientists told me so, that would be very stupid of me. And if I'm going to deny God because a scientist, he told me to do so, that's mean I am not exist, and he is thinking for me. So we need to be smarter than this. And this is why I'm saying somebody is saying, should we flag the video of Stephen Hawking? No, don't flag it. It's a proof of their lies. Like, should we flag this video, the fake one? No, leave it there. Expose them. And trust me, Muslims, you flag it, they will post it again. They are you know, there are people of it's a scam. This is the scam of Islam. This is a great example of the scam of Muslims. All right. Now we go back of what the video the Muslim they played. I'm going to go with them. According to the video, that the place where the star fall is the black hole. The place where the star falls is the black hole. Amazing. But does the Quran speak about the black hole where the star fall? Or the Quran is speaking about the stars falling earth. We will go to the Quran. Just to show you how we can expose. You see, the Muslims, they depend in their deception in one thing, very important thing. You do not know Arabic. And if you are a Muslim who knows Arabic, do you dare even to say it is not what they are saying? وَالنَّجْمُ إِذَا هَوَى. This is the verse they are talking about. If you remember this verse, this was where Muhammad, he was giving satanic verses. Look with me, guys, just to show you how Muslims they lie. This is the Muslim translation, not mine. The Muslim translation, not mine. So don't tell me I am the one who is coming with this. No, this is the Muslim translation. I swear by the stars. I swear by what? I swear by the stars. When it goes down, hold on, goes down where? To the earth. You know, this is what the verse is talking about the stars going down to the earth, and that is what the Quran is talking about. It's not talking about something else. What the black hole was about coming down where? To earth. If you go to the interpretation of the verse, you will see it says it clearly. It's speaking about when the stars fall down on earth. Not only this, when Muhammad was reciting this verse, and there's a funny story about it. There's a guy, he made fun of Muhammad, where he said, you know what, I don't, what do you mean swear by the stars? By the stars? Is your God is a star? How you swear by the star? Why didn't you swear by your God? And here in the verse, the one is swearing is not even Muhammad, it is his God, which is very funny. Because why God want to swear by a star falling down? Simply, this was a quotation from a poetry where Muhammad, he says, وَالنَّجْمُ إِذَا هَوَى, an Arabic poet who says, and I swear by the falling stars. Where a human, he thinks that those are stars are failing. But those are not stars. You know, those things, we see them every night. Any dark night where you are far away from the city, you can go out and sit and watch the sky and you will see them coming down. Sometimes even they can be really big to the point they can destroy and cause a lot of destruction. But those are not stars. If we go to different verse in the Quran, we will find this. Let us see. The Quran speak about the stars as something he shoot at the devil in order to protect the sky. All right. Let us see, read this verse. Chapter 67, verse number 5. Too bad I'm trying to activate this program here. This is a program I just purchased 2 days ago in order to be able to write on the screen, but for some reason it's not working. Maybe because I'm using now 2 screens as usual, but look like I need to activate before I start the program. Anyway, according to this story, if you read with me, you will see it says that we decorated the lower heaven with lamps. So where is the lamps located? In the lower heaven. You know, in different Muslim claim, you will find that the lower heaven became suddenly, or become suddenly what it's called the atmosphere. All right, I can show you right now about the atmosphere miracle in the Quran. But the Muslims assume that you do not know this verse, because this verse is saying in the lowest heaven is where is the lamp. After that, there is no lamp. And we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, as you see. And we made such a lamp as a missiles to drive away the evil ones. So what is the lamp in Islam, according to the Quran? According to Quran, the lamp is a star. But if that is Muhammad, he do not know the difference. To make it simple, Muhammad do not know the difference between a shooting star and a star. So he thinks those little light we see in the sky, those are simply a lamp. And those are the one who they are the stars. But in fact, this is false, and this is not true. Those shooting stars we see always, and they are not stars. We call them shooting stars simply because they are coming, they look like a shiny star, but they are not star. A little rock fading from the sky, go through the atmosphere, and when, because it's coming in a very, very fast speed, we are lucky that we have the atmosphere around us to burn this rock before it arrives to the earth. And most of the time, those rocks, they are burned before they arrive. Sometimes they arrive, but mostly they hit like in the ocean or in the empty place. Like if you are unlucky, you might get one rock of them over your house, but this is very rare. So obviously the one who made the Quran, not only ignorant about the space and what is the space about, he is coming with a fairy tale, which is that, you know what, this is something Allah created for very simple reason. He is going to drive away by missiles. So those are missiles to drive away the evil one. Who is the evil one? It doesn't say evil one, by the way. It says shayateen. Shayateen is the devils. So what is the science here? I thought the stars, the foreign stars, is about the black hole. And now we discover that the black hole is where the shaitan he live. But hold on. This is not what the Quran is saying. Not only that, you know, the Quran is saying that he, you know, Allah, he protect the zone of the earth and the heaven. So shaitan cannot spy at him. This is why he shoot him. According to the Muslim fairy tale stories, shaitan, he tried to spy at Allah. And you see, shaitan is really evil. You know what he can do. I don't know why shaitan is really like that. You know, shame on you, shaitan. You want to spy at Allah? Like go and list yourself in the CIA. It's you know, come on. You can use like a wireless radar or, you know, a spaceship. But Allah, anyway, he have his defense system against the shaitan. When the shaitan get close, Allah he send missiles, you know. So Allah right away he starts shooting the shaitan. And if you think about it, this is very logical. This is a pure science, my friend. Like, come on, you cannot really you cannot avoid that. You cannot get away from this. This is a pure science. If we go and ask the Muslims to read the interpretation for this verse, because they might say to us, oh, you are coming with your interpretation and this is not true. All right, so if we go, this is chapter 67 verse number 5. We can go and we can check with the Muslim interpretation. You see, this is the difference between us and between the Muslims. The Muslims, when they speak about us, they give us their own false interpretation about our book. When we speak to Muslims, we don't come with our interpretation. We read their interpretation for them, and we come with the answer for it from their own words. We don't make we don't make our own interpretation. And verily, read with me, guys. You see, this is not my statement, because this is why I like to show the Muslims what I'm talking about, because I am not the one saying what I'm saying right now. It is your scholars. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. This is not my words. All right. So I want Muslims to be honest here when they listen. I am not saying that, and don't tell me I'm wrong. And verily we have adorned the lowest heaven, the one closest to the earth. Which one? Which one? Which one? Muslims, do you hear it? The heaven which is the most close to the earth. So next time, don't come and tell us this is the atmosphere and try to make a miracle of the Quran, because in different verse in the Quran they say, you see, the Quran says that there is 7 skies and 7 earth. The 7 skies, it must be the atmosphere. The atmosphere contains 7 layers of it. This is false, by the way. The atmosphere doesn't have 7 layers. This is false. There are 4. They try to divide. What they do, like you can divide, and you can make them 5, you can make them 6, you can make them 7, you can make them as many as you want, because every level have, let's say, many levels inside, but it's not 7. The Quran speaks about 7 skies and 7 earth. Those are 7 skies, not 7 layers of the atmosphere. If the atmosphere is the only 7 skies, it means after the atmosphere there's nothing. If you are saying to me that Allah created the 7 heaven and 7 earth, and those 7 heaven are the 7 layers of the atmosphere as you claim, which is not even exist, that's mean after the 7 layers of the atmosphere there's nothing. That's it. This is the creation of Allah between this and this. So what happened after that for all this galaxy? This is how naive the Muslims, but they assume, as I said, that you are ignorant and you are not going to investigate. So Allah, he decorated the lowest heaven, as you see here, the lowest heaven. The one is the most close to us. This is why we see them is coming to us. It's not about going in the black hole. And he made those stars, and you see here it says lamps. So the Muslim cannot say he's talking about shooting stars. It says lamps. Shooting stars are not lamps. And the Quran called it stars. And we made them as missiles against the devil. So those are the foreign stars. This is why the Muslims, they see them as missiles. They are coming so fast. You know, it is not what they are talking about, that those are the one stars who a black hole swallow it and disappear. Do you see the deception? deception of Muslims is amazing, isn't it? So when I say you cannot really believe a Muslim saying to you a statement, I have 1 million reasons to say that. Actually, the word missiles is not there. The word there is rujuman. Here we go. This is the word in Arabic. Let me show you the word in Arabic. You see this word here in the screen? Oh, sorry. You see it? No, this is a shayateen. Sorry, hold on. I'm looking at the other screen. It came wrong. Let me look here. All right. This is the word. Rujuman mean, you know, did you hear before about the rajam? The punishment of rajam, which means stoning women to death? This is what rajam mean, stoning. You know, like you throw something, but not stoning necessarily. Like your rajam is throwing something about anyone. So rajamahu, you can throw gold at him, you can throw silver at him, you are throwing something at someone. So rujum is throwing things, but usually is not used in a good term. It's something like you are killing someone. All right, it's not just a throwing, it's something hurt and cause death. So rujuman here translated as a missile, as you see. This is the word we are talking about. Missiles is coming from rujuman, but the word missiles does not exist in the Quran. It is anything you throw at anyone or anything. Like you can put a can in the other side and you do rajam. All right, which means you are throwing something, whatever that thing is. But usually it's not like you don't use the word rajam if you are going to throw a piece of a clothes at me. You know what I mean? It's something like should be something solid, can cause death, kill, etc. Usually rocks, etc. So there's no missiles. However, the description is not far away from the word missiles, because simply it is Allah throwing those things. So what is missiles? Missiles is you throwing something, and that thing you know, usually have a firepower. This is why the Muslim, they use the translation missiles. I'm not against it, by the way, it's fine. However, the more accurate translation for the word rajam is a throwing things. But if you say throwing things, maybe people will not understand, so it's better to use missiles to know that this is something to destroy. So Allah, he sent those missiles or rujum against the devils. You see in the translation of Yusuf Ali, he said the evil ones. In Arabic, in fact, it says shayateen. As you see, the devil here, this is the word devil, is appear here from the word shayateen. Shayateen means Satans. I think the word is familiar, right? It's the same word and we use in English. Satan in English, shaitan in Arabic. So Allah, he used those missiles against the shaitan or shayateen, a lot of them. Why? Because they try to attempt to listen in stealth. So according to Muhammad and his followers, shayateen, they try to listen, to spy, like James Bond, you know, like he sneak to your place and he have like a secret watch, and he have a secret glasses who can see even through the clothes. This is why, you know, after I watch James Bond, I start wearing a lot of clothes. I don't want him to see how much hair I have. So mashallah. And shaitan, he want to steal information from Allah. So let us say in the language of today's word, shaitan, he tried to hack into the system of Allah, he's stealing information. So what he do, he go to the lowest heaven and he put his clothes in the walls of the heaven and he try to steal information. However, Allah is watching. Allah, don't think Allah is easy. Allah is watching carefully. The second the shaitan he go there, Allah he start shooting missiles. So what they say in the video about the foreign stars have nothing to do with this. Have nothing to do with the black hole. It's nothing but a lie, a scam again. This is why I advise you to read my book, Quran and Science in Depth, so you can see how the deception of Muslims work. I really, honestly, I find that deception of Muslims and the deception of Allah is kind of, you know, very stupid propaganda. Like those people, they do not really know that people one day they will find out that this is true, that is not true. Here you will see. Look what the Jalalain saying. Jalalain is smarter than Allah. All right. And then he says, in which case is a matter of fire detach itself from the star, just like a brand is taken from fire and either kills that jinn or deprives him of his sense. But this is not what the Quran is saying. This is a Jalalain trying to make it look nicer. However, a Jalalain was, or he cannot be successful for a very simple reason. Anyone knows why? Anybody can tell me in the text why a Jalalain can't be successful about that? Who noticed why he cannot be successful in this interpretation about it is not the star itself? Nobody noticed? Okay, read with me from the beginning. And verily we have adorned the lowest heaven, the one closest to the earth, with a lamp. So that the stars is mentioned already. So you cannot say, you cannot deny the existence of the star as part of the story. Correct? He cannot get away from it. Do we agree? Now, if a Jalalain is saying or trying to make it look like nicer by saying, well, those are a meteor, they are coming from the stars, detached from the star. So he agreed at least that those are detached from a star. But where does the stars exist? In the lowest heaven. And that is nothing but a fabrication. So even when they try to make it, to fix it, they make it a blind. And you know, why Shaitan he tried to listen to Allah? I'm not getting the point. I mean, Shaitan trying to spy at Allah, like Allah is talking to people there. What do you mean Shaitan is? Can't Allah speak in a language different from the language of the Shaitan? How come the Shaitan he understand their language? Can't Allah like use WhatsApp? What's up? What's up? Because you know, WhatsApp is a good application. Encrypt your messages or even your voice call or even your video call, so the other side cannot even you know, take it and retrieve it and makes a story of it, because they have a good security system. So Allah look like he is not using WhatsApp, and the only defense system he has is when you get, you know, you get close from the heaven, Allah he starts shooting at you, and either he killed those devils or he harmed them. But that is very weird. The whole story, it doesn't make sense, simply because this is coming from fairy tales of Islam. As an example, there's a different story we can mention here. As long as we are talking about this, we can go to different verses in the Quran. Let's go here. chapter 55, verse number 33. You can read any translation you want. All right, you choose. As I say always, all of them, they are liars. It doesn't matter this is a translation of who. Or assembly of the jinn. Assembly of what? Of the jinn. And man. So Allah is challenging two kind of assembly. The genie and mankind. To do what? Listen carefully. Allah have a challenge for them to do something. What is that thing? If you can pass beyond the zone of the heaven and the earth, pass ye, not without authority shall you be able to pass. So Allah is making a challenge for mankind and the genie, both of them. Not only for the genie, not only for genie, by the way, is a shaitan, in case you do not know. Satan is from the genie. All right, for those who do not know. This is why I say Muslim, they use sometimes same words, but they have different value. Like in Christianity, Satan was a fallen angel. In Islam, Satan is not a fallen angel. He is a genie. All right, just take a note about that. So the genie and mankind, Allah challenged them. If you can pass beyond the zone of the heaven and the earth, pass, but you cannot without my permission. Now, who is the first one who was able to pass out of the zone of the earth? Anybody can tell me? Is it true it was the communist, the Soviet Union? Is that correct? They are the first people who went out of the space. They are communists. They are not Christians. They are not, at that time, the country was a communist country. So we cannot say it was a Christian. So the first one was able to go beyond the zone of the heaven and the earth. It was the communist. Does that mean Allah, He gave them permission? If you go to the interpretation for this hadith, or this verse here, you will see Allah never allowed anyone to go anywhere without permission, like Prophet of God. So Muhammad, he can go on the top of his flying donkey with two wings, or in the judgment day where God, he will take his chosen one. This is what the verse is speaking about, and we can go right now and see the interpretation of the verse, so nobody can say we are making things up. This is chapter 55, verse number 33, and we have the interpretation in the front of us. Let us see. This is the chapter of Ar-Rahman. Verse number 33. You see it? O company of jinns and the human, jinns and the human, not only the genie, jinn present the shaitan, human present us. If you are able to pass through, to exit from the confines, the region of the heaven and the earth, pass through. A commandment to challenge them to what they are incapable of doing. So Allah saying, you cannot do that. You have no power of such a thing. You have no power of such a thing. But all of us, we know that Allah was wrong again, and a human being were able to go out of the zone of the earth at least. And the one who was able to do so, the funny about it, it was a communist, which means there is no way that Allah is going to allow the communist to go to heaven. The first people who went to out of the zone of the earth, the one who broke the challenge of Allah, they are communists. So obviously the challenge of Allah was nothing but gas, extra gas. Allah ate too much beans, and he never thought that one day time will come and people will be able to accomplish such a mission and they go out of the earth. That's impossible. So Muhammad, he made a stupid challenge, and today is exposed. You have no power of such a thing. You see it? No power. So the more we, the more we study the Quran, the more we see that this religion is very stupid, and not only it's not scientific, it is full of errors. This is why if you read in my book, by the way, you will see a lot more reference from this, because there I go deep in stories and where this story is coming from, and etc., like poetry. So it is not just refuting the Muslims in the story, it's showing them that what they are saying, it's a miracle, it turned out to be a disaster. As we just did right now, but we did it in a simple form, because we don't have all the day to speak about it. So this is alone is enough to prove that what they say is nothing but a fabrication. So not only they fabricate videos about people converting to Islam, like Stephen, not only they come with lies about what the Quran is saying and they change the words, like what we see here. Let me show you this. There's tons of websites made by Muslims, all right, about science of the Quran. Look at this. We just spoke about what? We spoke about the earth and the atmosphere. Let me show you this lie. Here we go. The first one in the top. I'm not the one who chose it. It's in the top. The first one. Let me make it big so you can read. By the sky which return, Quran 86:11. He who made for you the earth a bed spread out and the sky ceiling. Look here. Look, notice with me. Do you notice that they cut the verse? Why you don't cut the verse? Why you don't complete the verse? Chapter 2, verse number 22. Isn't it, this is a miracle? Why you stop here and you start putting dots for us? What those dots for? If we go right now and we search for Quran 2:22, now for some reason it's giving us, okay, let us hold on, let us do this. All right. الذي جعل لكم الأرض فراشا والسماء بناء وأنزل من السماء فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا etc. So it is he who made for you the earth bed spread out. Actually, it doesn't say that. In Arabic, firash, it's a carpet. It's like, it's a flat. It's a flat. So the verse they are trying to quote for us to prove about the atmosphere, the same verse contain a big problem, because you know what? Who told you that the earth is spread out? Who in the world told you that it is a flat? The Quran says firashan. Firashan is not only even not only a bed, you know, it is like a very, very flat. Because you know, anyone will want to sleep in a bed it's not flat, totally flat. The word firash here present to you how flat it is. And then, and the sky a ceiling. The sky is a ceiling. Oh, hold on. The sky is a ceiling? Is that right? You see, if you know one verse in the Quran, this verse might confuse you about this statement. The sky is a ceiling. Maybe it's talking about the atmosphere. But the fact the verse doesn't say that. Where is the word ceiling? Where? I want to see it. وَالسَّمَاءُ بِنَاءَ. A build. There's no ceiling. The word ceiling does not exist. If I go right now to Google, all right, let us see here. We will add which link we do not need. All of those we need them anyway. We go to Google. Actually, you know what? Let us go to the tafsir. Let us expose him from the tafsir. We can use a translation to show you. I chose the wrong one. Sorry, hold on. 222, not. Read with me. He who assigned to you created for you the earth for a couch like a carpet. Do you see it? Is laid out, neither extremely hard nor extremely soft, so as to make it impossible to stand firm. All right, science. And the heaven is an edifice. I don't know what that word means. Like a roof. That's you know the interpretation, right? In Arabic it doesn't say like a roof, but he's trying to explain to you actually what is coming from different verse. What he mean like a roof? If we go in different verse in the Quran, it says سقفا محفوظا. That word there is coming as a ceiling. But ceiling from what? Chapter 21, verse number 32. And we made the heaven as a canopy, well guarded. Well guarded from what? We just explained to you. The Satan, he tried to get out of the heaven. Allah showed him. It's not about something coming from the heaven and Allah protecting him or protecting the earth. You got the point? So we have here the protected roof in this verse is not the atmosphere, because the atmosphere, what it does, it protect what it's coming from the space. Correct? So let us say here I'm going to draw something in the sky, in the Let us say this is the ceiling. The ceiling the Quran talking about. Actually, I better make it as the Quran claim it is. But here you cut it half. You cut the ceiling half, which means this is here the earth, and this is the ceiling in the top of it. So here we can say, let us do this. This is the earth here, all right, and the sky is this part as like a dome. So if something trying the atmosphere, what the atmosphere does, if something trying to get into our earth, we're protected and is going to burn anything is coming down. All right, this is what the atmosphere does. But what the Quran talking about is the opposite. The Quran saying protected roof, which means you cannot go out of the roof. It's not about the other side or the other part out of this out of the dome. Are you getting my point? If you try to get out of here, because we showed you Allah, he challenged the shaitan and the human being to leave the zone of the earth. So if you try to get out, Allah will shoot you. The atmospheric duty is the opposite. The atmosphere do not prevent you from leaving the earth. The atmosphere prevent rocks and etc. for the high speed they are coming with to burn, to protect. So the two stories have nothing to do with each other. However, this is showing us a mistake about protecting the earth from the earth to up to heaven, not the opposite. And this cannot be the atmosphere. Secondly, if this is the atmosphere, it means the lamps is in the atmosphere, because remember, Allah has his lamps in the lowest heaven. Now there is something else we need to mention before we get over this. Let us go here. In chapter 50, verse number 1, it says, Qa wal Quranul Majid. What Qa mean? I changed any Muslim to tell me what Qa mean. Qa is an Arabic letter. That's it. However, in the Quran, it's not. According to the Muslims, Qa is a mountain which is surrounding the earth. So you see the sky. Let me go to the interpretation. So we have the sky is a dome. However, the dome of the sky is not coming down to the earth. No, it's coming in the top of a mountain. It's called Qaf, and that Qa or Qaf is a mountain surrounding the earth from all direction. You see it? Like I order a pad so I can draw, but I return it back because it didn't work. And I bought the software to be able to draw on the screen, but still I need to order a good pad so I can draw with the pen, and that will help me more to explain what we are saying here. So if you read with me here, you will see it says, and from the narration of Ibn Abbas. Who is Ibn Abbas, by the way? He is the cousin of Muhammad. This is not just a joke. Actually, Muhammad, he said, he prayed to Allah, Allah, I pray to you to make Ibn Abbas the scholar of the Ummah, which means the scholar of the nation. So Muslim cannot say this scholar is stupid. This is the only scholar in Islam is mentioned by Muhammad to be a scholar. The rest are potatoes. Compared to this man, I mean. So Ibn Abbas, he said, which means Muhammad, he is the one who taught Ibn Abbas, because Ibn Abbas is learning from who? He is the cousin of Muhammad. He said, in the interpretation of Allah saying Qaf, in Arabic, by the way, when we write a letter by itself, like this is the letter Qaf, Qa, have two dots here. So, but when we read it by itself, we don't say it as a letter like Qa, it's Qa, but we say it as a word, we say Qaf. So it's a letter, all right? So Qaf here means the letter Qa, as we see it in the front of us in the screen. So he says it is an azure mountain. It's what? Seriously, it's what? It is an azure mountain. Qaf is an azure mountain, and that azure mountain is overlooking the world. So what we have a mountain all over the earth, and then in the top of the mountain there is a dome. And that is the sky. And actually the sky itself, it takes its color from this mountain, as you see, and the color of the sky takes from it, and Allah swear by it. The reason he says the sky take the color from this mountain, because simply he cannot explain why we cannot see the mountain. So because the mountain and the sky, they have the same color, this is why it's kind of invisible. You get the point? So what they said it was science, it turned to be what? A joke, a lie, a fabrication. Where we can find the azure mountain which is surrounding the earth? I want to see it. We have a mountain. You see, to assume that the earth is surrounded by a mountain, that means you are assuming that the earth is one piece of a flat carpet, as the other verse said. You remember? Because you cannot make a mountain surrounding the earth from every direction, and you say this is a fence for the earth, because simply this means the earth is separated two parts. That would not be a fence. That would be a fence between two parts, not surrounding the earth. Get the point? Secondly, this mountain have to go through the ocean and have to be higher than the ocean in order to make this fence. Because how you can surround the whole earth without going through the ocean? And not only that, you have to cut the ocean, and you have to be higher than the ocean, for you are a mountain. If the mountain exists down in the ocean, this is not a mountain no more, for he is lower than the ground in it, lower than the level of the water. So to make it simple, we cannot trust a Muslim saying anything about anyone. One video, they attacked the man for he is making a lot of people leave Islam and not to believe in the religion, and one video saying he's a Muslim. And this one is made in the month of June 15, 2015, almost a year ago, by the grandson of the Muslim Brotherhood founder, Dr. Tariq. You remember Dr. Tariq is the one who we made a video about him. He was saying if a man he refused to accept other culture, it means he is scared, he is not confident, his principle is shaky, you know, which is exposing his prophet. So we were happy to hear this video. Now here in this video, he's attacking this man, and he is trying supposedly to speak as a person who knows science, but this guy has nothing to do with science.
Something which is very important in this discussion is to know what are the facts and to acknowledge what are the limits. This is the starting point of a discussion with a scientist.
One of the things that sometimes people would argue that because they are a scientist and because they're attacking religion and they're coming from the Western development and the relationship between religion and science, and therefore they're given attention more than is perhaps due to them. Is that an unfair accusation?
No, it's true, of course, because they are in a field where they are very knowledgeable. These are great minds, as I said, and of course, sometimes we are overestimating what they are bringing into the discussion. But once again, at the same time, it's quite interesting to listen to what they are.
But anyway, in the whole conversation, they are not refuting anything, you know. Where is the refutation of what those people say?
You are putting things like this because this is really the way scientists will talk or speak about God, saying, is he needed? From a religious viewpoint, it's not a question of a need. It's a question of faith, and it's a question of a reality.
False. You see, in Islam, God exists as a need, not because it is a faith. As an example, who is the one who need here? Who need who? Allah, he said, I did not create the mankind and the genie, but to worship me. But to worship me. So Allah, he needed someone to worship him. This is why you see Muhammad, he said, if you don't worship, if you don't commit sin, and you ask Allah for forgiveness, Allah will destroy you and replace you with a better nation who do sin and ask Allah for forgiveness. So there is a need in Islam for God to create you. For he need to be worshipped. He is a homeless, lonely guy. He do not know what to do. So this is why Muhammad said, if you don't commit sin and ask Allah for forgiveness, he will destroy you and bring better nation than you who commit sin and ask for forgiveness. So the better one in Islam is the one who commits sin and ask Allah for forgiveness. So Allah, he need the people to ask him for forgiveness so he feel good. It is just to fulfill the lonely God, Allah. He wanted people to worship him and to ask him for forgiveness. He needs sinners. Otherwise, why Allah want to destroy a nation, don't commit sin, and replace it with a nation commit sin? That doesn't make sense. The hadith say clearly that he will replace you with a nation commit sin and ask for forgiveness. So not only Allah, he wants you to commit sin, the whole point is he wants you to commit sin, so you ask him for forgiveness. If you don't commit sin, there is no forgiveness to be asked for. Therefore, Allah is not happy. So Allah, his needs is not satisfied. This guy, he wanted people to commit sin and ask him, please, Allah, please forgive me, Allah, forgive me. That is telling us the nature of this God. This God, he have a brain damage. Let me see if I can find the hadith. Let me see. I will try to find it in English. So you see the weird mentality of this God and his followers. Very weird. Unbelievable, man. Seriously, unbelievable. It's hard to believe that there is such a thing exists. Like, you know, look, think about it. Allah, he kicked out Adam from heaven for committing sin. And then Adam, he asked Allah for forgiveness, so he forgave him, but still he could come out from heaven, so he can do more sin. You know what I mean? Let me see. I'm looking for the hadith. Hold on. Actually, there's many of those stories, by the way. Like there's okay. All right. Let us see this one. By him in whose hand is my life. If you were not to commit sin, Allah, yeah, would sweep you out. Wow. Of existence, and he would replace you by those who would commit sin and seek forgiveness. You see, we're not making things up. That is Islam. Imagine how mad this statement is. Your sin is needed. You see, mistakenly, Christians always, and this is my problem with the Christians, before the Muslims, I have to correct the Christians more than correcting the Muslims. You see, Christians always, they think that the Muslim believe when we say sin have different same value as the Christians. When the Muslim, they say adultery is the same as in Christianity. When we say theft, it is not. Every one of those terms and words, they have different value in Islam. So here we learn about the value of sin of Islam, that the sin of Islam is not meant to be an accident, a mistake a human being he did. A sin in Islam is something Allah he needed. It is a requirement and a need by Allah. And this Allah, he needed the sin to satisfy his own problems. He is lonely, he's trying to get busy, and he is in love of seeing people asking him for forgiveness. If you don't ask Allah for forgiveness, what Allah will do for a living? Seriously. This is why if you were not to commit sin, Allah will destroy you. Look, I thought if you don't commit sin, Allah will reward you. No, not in Islam. In Christianity, if you don't commit sin, you see the story on the Bible about the homo towns where God, he burned them. If there is still in this town a righteous man, God will not burn it. For one righteous man, God will not burn the town. In Islam is the opposite. If there is a town, all of it is full of righteous men and women who never commit sin, Allah will destroy the town, and he will not only destroy the town, he will make you out of existence, which means he will cleanse you. Genocide. And what is the reason? What is the crime you did for Allah to destroy you out of existence? It's very simple. You did not commit a sin. So you better commit a sin, otherwise we have a problem. You need to commit a sin in Islam. For that is the reason for you to stay alive. And after you commit a sin, don't forget the second step, otherwise there is more severe punishment is coming. After you commit a sin, then you have to ask forgiveness. If you don't commit a sin, then there is no forgiveness to ask for. Then Allah is unhappy, and Allah need to go and see a doctor, and he need to take a medication for being lonely, and that is not what Allah he want. Allah he don't like that. You know, you are hurting the feeling of Allah by not committing sin. So Allah, the self-esteem of Allah require you to commit sin. Is that a religion really to follow? Is that a logic to believe in? We've been taught 1,000,000 times that the Muslims, they say to us, brother, sister, don't commit sin. Brother, Islam is against adultery. Brother, blah, 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 blah. It's the opposite. The more you commit sin, the more you are good for Allah, because the more you have to ask for forgiveness, and Allah feel happy, feel important. You know, like let us say someone he dreamed to be a rich man in a poor town. Why it's important to be a rich man in a poor town? Because if everyone is poor, and I am the only rich, everybody need me. People, they will come to borrow from me to buy their food for their children. I am an important man. But if everybody is rich like me, nobody will knock at my door, and nobody will ask me for a favor and say, please, please give me. And this is the situation of Allah. Allah, he wanted to be in a position where people, they keep asking him for forgiveness, so he feel good. Allah will not feel good. I wonder now, what will happen to Allah when people, they stop doing sin when they are in heaven? I mean, there's nobody is asking for forgiveness. That means the whole story of heaven in Islam is nothing but a fabrication, because Allah will not be happy with it. If people, they don't commit sin, and then Allah is doing what? Allah will destroy the heaven? And this is the hadith number, by the way. This is the reference in the front of your eyes. What Allah will do? He will destroy the heaven? Because this is what the story here is saying. If you don't commit sin, Allah will destroy you. Okay, now we are in heaven. This is mean there is nobody committing sin, and there is nobody asking Allah for forgiveness. So Allah will destroy us in heaven. It's amazing stupidity, amazing madness, and the more you read this book, the more you see how stupid it is. And yet they say to me that there is somebody, somehow, somewhere, he converted to this stupid religion. But I tell you why they convert, and they leave later when they find out how stupid this religion is. All right? Do we have any question here? No question. All right, well, thank you very much for being with us. Don't forget again, please, to read my books, which is Quran and Science in Depth, and Deception of Allah, and the French book, which is The Secret, the Prophet Arab. So you can learn from it, and you can see, you can learn really a lot of things with a lot of reference, and can be a very good books for those who want to do a study in deep about Islam, so they can refute, and maybe, you know, you educate yourself to the point you can write articles. As you see, even people who they are very good in Islam, like Brother Sam Shamoun, you don't hesitate to say, I am using your books to write my papers about Islam. So I advise you to read more. Education is the best way to fight deception and ignorance. When you are not educated, people, they can fool you, they can lie to you, and they can say whatever I want to say, and you don't know if they are truthful or not. Education, my friends, is what we are looking for. So help us so we can help others and their education. And I really appreciate those who they are helping us in our mission, and they are making donation. Your help is appreciated, and I would be happy to see more of you really supporting us. Until now, very few of you is doing that. I'm not sure why, but sometime you don't understand how people function and why people they they don't care for what we do. When what we do is extremely important. There's thousands and thousands of people they were thinking about converting to Islam after watching my videos. They don't think about it even for a second ever again. So what we do is extremely important. It's like a flu shot against the disease. You better give your son, your daughter a flu shot before she got the flu, not after she got the flu. That will be very hard to fight, especially a disease like Islam. It is very hard to fight when somebody is infected with it. So you better strengthen the immune system before you get infected, and then you will never be infected. And this is what we are doing here. With this, I say thank you. God bless. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. I mean to that.